I saw another good news story yesterday coming out of Africa as well that I was pretty excited about. The first time, I think, in 50 or so years, rhino populations are on the up.
Interesting.
Really?
Yeah, I was really, really excited about it.
Has to be just because of like protection efforts.
Yeah, anti-poaching.
Working.
Yeah, so I don't know. I see if Kyle can find the news story. Africa's white rhino population rebounds for first time in a decade. New figures show. So 5.2% increase between 2021 and now, which is fantastic.
Is the I thought the white rhino was only left with the 2 females.
The northern white rhino. So there's northern and southern white rhino, and the southern population is only 5% up or so, but that's really good.
It's better than the down, so it's
Yeah.
5% up rather than being 20% down.
Which it has been year after
Right.
year, and the population's up to around 17,000 individuals, which is it might sound like a lot. It's not for rhinos,
it's great.
but it's great. I mean, it's just good news. It's nice to see happy news. Most
Yes.
of the news you see around poaching and animals like rhinos is just like, oh, it's the end, it's the end, it's the end.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And
I was really happy
Isn't
to see that.
one of the things they're doing is actually going and tranquilizing the rhinos and actually taking the horns?
Yeah.
So that poachers don't kill them for the horn?
Yes, but it's such a mess because
They kill them anyways.
they kill them anyway. Yeah.
Just to spite that effort.
But it's not even just to spite it. What happens is, you have, let's say, 10 rhino in this huge 100,000 acre park.
Yeah.
The poachers will spend 5 days tracking a rhino and get there and it's been dehorned. 2 things. One, they're going to kill it so they don't ever have to spend 5 days tracking it again because they're at such high risk while tracking it. And 2, when you dehorn a rhino, you still leave like a disc like that big because you can't cut it out of its skull, right?
Right.
And even that disc is worth retiring for if you're a poacher, right? So
Interesting.
it does help for sure. And if you're like, oh, this entire park is dehorned, the likelihood that they're going to fuck with you is pretty slim.
Yeah, they're not even gonna come over to that
Right,
park.
it's not worth it, but still, it's not exactly like a fantastic, proven methodology. One that for some reason got outlawed, which honestly infuriated me because I thought it was brilliant, was they were putting cyanide in the rhino horns, and it had no ill effect on the rhinos. It's just a big fingernail.
Yeah.
Right. And then it would get ground up into dick pills or whatever, and you'd have these Chinese businessmen dropping dead in China.
Man, what's the
word
downside
out.
of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't take these rhino pills.
I know. I thought that was fantastic.
Also, everybody involved in the entire operation should eat fucking
Cyanide. Yeah.
arsenic, whatever you want to put in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Do they use FLIR drones? Like, I
Yeah.
feel like,
Yeah.
they're using thermal drones.
So
I was gonna
it's
say,
tough
that
for
would
a
be good-
poacher to use a drone because you can hear it, you can see it.
Oh,
you know.
yeah, no, I was saying for the anti-poaching units.
Yeah, and it's why we have always got special permissions when I've worked in Africa to get thermal drones in, but the drone regulations in Africa are
Oh my
bonkers.
gosh, yeah.
It's so difficult to deal with them.
Is the anti-poaching movement like growing stronger and stronger?
I think so. The next generation of Asian people that have these beliefs, mostly Chinese and Vietnamese, like the kid, like our age and younger.
Yeah.
I don't think they're falling into this the way that their parents did and grandparents did, right? I think there's enough education now. There will always be those extremists no matter what,
Sure,
right?
of course.
But I think there's enough education and understanding now that hey, it's literally a fingernail. It's not going to make my dick bigger. And
Yeah.
It's incredibly frowned upon globally. And just because grandpa did it and dad did it doesn't mean I need to do it. It's the same way. It's like the same thing as racism. It's like, well, we were all racist back then, but I'm done with that.
Even just conservation and like global warming and everything, the younger generation understands like, hey, if we keep doing this stuff, we're going to we're not going to have anywhere for our kids to be.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that's good. That's good to hear that. But I do like the thought of the poachers out there actively being hunted down.
Yeah, and what's crazy is so that's overall, right? But then you look at places that are really, really vast that have much less enforcement, like Namibia.
Yeah.
Namibia is home to the world's largest black rhino population. So a 93% increase in poaching. So it's like, well, we're not able to get them over in South Africa because of these measures and protections. Let's shift over to Namibia.
Gotcha.
93% increase in poaching.
Now, dude,
But that'll
that's
come, and then the
ridiculous.
regulation will come there, and enforcement will come, and
Yeah.
it's a fight you have to keep fighting.